When you go into some towns, you realise how fortunate we are in New Zealand, just how much we've got compared to how much we need. And these people with very little are just so interested in what you're doing and interested in your life.
Well, it's like wherever you go, you know, the most positive thing you get is the people, because people the world over, you know, 99.9% are really wonderful to you. You know, they're just fantastic. They go out of their way to help you, and, you know, generally, we've said it before, the poorer they are, the more generous they are. The exception to that are the people who are in positions of power, because in a lot of these countries, you know, democracy is not the norm.
I sort of went into Africa thinking that here's a country, or many countries, that need help. And I actually don't believe Africa needs help. I think Africa needs management.
You know, I mean, there's a saying about governments in Africa, you know, they don't represent the people, they actually try to subjugate the people. Because most of the governments in Africa are dictatorships of one form or another. The president will be there for life, or, you know, until he's shot or whatever, dies of AIDS. So you just take that sort of stuff away and just deal with the ordinary people who are trying to feed themselves every day. 85% of Africans are subsistence farmers, meaning that they only produce enough to feed themselves and their family. So they live on the edge. So if they have one bad season or the crop fails for whatever reason, they're gone, they're starving. And I think that's what makes it really interesting from a Western point of view, because here you have these people who are living in a very high risk situation. It just doesn't have to rain and they're in trouble. It would make us miserable and fearful and full of angst. It doesn't seem to have that effect on the Africans at all. They're used to it, you know, done it forever.
Africa did teach me a number of things about myself. Going into the team, I was the new kid on the block. So I said to myself, I'm going to have to be very subservient here. I'm going to have to just stand back, not do what I'd like to do, and that is lead. And I lasted all of about 3 weeks with that. I tried my best not to organise, lead and try and control, but I found I just couldn't do that. So big learning for me was you are what you are, and at the end I felt more comfortable debating, arguing, getting my point of view across.
I think some of the things I'll remember most about Africa, and one was an incident when I was in a pub way down in southern Africa, and this young man came up to me and he spat something at me, very vitriolic. And of course I didn't understand what he was saying. So I held out my hand and I said, I don't understand you, I'm from New Zealand. And he said, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't realise you were a New Zealander. He'd actually thought I was an Afrikaans, and he was speaking to me in Afrikaans, and obviously had some pretty strong emotional baggage there.
Stuff. You guys, man, New Zealand, fuck man, we like Australians. We no kiwi, no kui, yeah.
And he embraced me and apologised profusely, and it made me realise how much the rest of the world thinks of Kiwis as being very neutral.
And what of being away from home in New Zealand for extended periods?
I'm always between trips now, but you know, the beauty of technology is that I can still sort of do my job on the road. My bike's got a computer that goes up to the satellite and does all the internet and everything, so to be able to just flip-flop between the two worlds is pretty cool.
Life on the road also provides its share of jeopardy. Joe and Gareth were fired upon on the Africa trip, and there are always dangers of nature and of negotiating challenging terrain in unfamiliar places.
It's a risk, but you can't stop living your life, you know, and we want to do this, we want to finish sort of seeing the world, so we just carry on. I mean, it's been a great life. It's not the length of life that matters, it's what you do with it. That really is the most important thing, and since our children left, we've been on this sort of gig, you know, seeing the world and educating ourselves, and I think you've just got to do it, you know. That's what life's about. Otherwise you'd never open the front door, would you?